episode of Crypto Pick with Sal with Simply Investing. If you haven't, if you're new to the channel, I suggest you subscribe and like this video, and then go down to our live replays as you can check us out. Crypto morning chats every Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. Central Time, and of course every Sunday, 8:30 a.m. Central Time for what's in your portfolio as we cover changes, market changes, and all that fun stuff. And I go over all my wins and losses, mostly losses. So if you're interested in that, you can definitely like and subscribe there. We're live on every channel that you could possibly can conceive of, with the exception of locals. We haven't been on there yet, but maybe down the road shortly. But if you're also new to the channel, one of the crypto picks are exclusive to Patreon first for about a week to let our Patreon members get first dibs, and then everything else goes to YouTube and Rumble. So if you want to, you can definitely come in, subscribe to the Patreon, $3 a month. It really helps support the channel. Plus, you get exclusive videos. We have exclusive interviews that will only be on Patreon with other business people and prominent people in that we can get on camera for you guys, as well as a lot of other great, interesting things and access to our Discord. Now, we do appreciate your support and everything, and we do appreciate likes and subscribes because those are free. So we're more than happy to have those. Without further ado, though, we're going to come in here and we're going to talk about the Radix token. It's another great token that came across one of our subscribers. Been trying to get this video out a lot. As you guys know, I run a moving company and a detailing shop, so do apologize if the phone does go off. I am in my sales office, so we just got to take things with a grain of salt. So with that, here, without further ado, here's Radix XRD ticker symbol. It is on quite a few exchanges. It is on Bybit, but it's also on a few others there as well. Right now, trading at a little bit over 7.5 cents as of this recording. We got a 785 million market cap with a 3.1 million trade volume, so it's not too bad for what it is. As you can see from the charts here, we got quite a bit of consistent price action here, but we are not down to the ICO of the coin, nor are we we're at the all-time high of it. We're kind of right in the middle at 7 cents. Now, as you can see here, if we go back over to KuCoin, you can see here the buy orders and everything. So there's a lot of people interested in this coin, a lot of buying and selling going back and forth, as you can see. So there's definitely some healthy trade volume on here. However, I still think you might want to wait a little bit on this. But the one thing I don't like is that if you look at their white paper, they are guaranteeing returns. So let's take a look at their white paper and do a really full depth analysis of what we're looking at. So as you can see, this token, if we can get down to the introduction here, this token is we're going to skip over this part here because it's just going over how DeFi works and all that. And I'm sure a lot of you guys understand that. But if not, you can definitely check out one of our older videos on DeFi and how that works. And of course, just going over the history of crypto, none of which is pertinent to what we're looking at. But here's where I want to say, this is the most important part right here. Radix is removing the technology barriers limiting the expansion of DeFi by building a layer 1 protocol that can directly address the needs of DeFi at a global scale for the next 100 years. This requires a full stack approach, re-engineering consensus, distributed virtual machines, executable on network code, DeFi application building, and developer incentives. That's important right there. So they're aiming to really change the scope of the DeFi world and make it more accessible and be able to handle more transactions per day on there. Now, that is a quite ambitious project. However, just saying it and doing it are two different things. So here they kind of go over the problems with Ethereum, smart contracts, and the hackability of it and everything like that. Here's their solution. We need to move past the Ethereum conceptualization of smart contract development and give developers a new paradigm of asset orientation smart contracts intended for DeFi. That is basically what they're doing. They're basically trying to overhaul the DeFi market while giving a safer, more secure network, while also having a more scalable network that can also handle the amount of transactions and thus alleviating the gas fees. So that right there, is kind of makes it very interesting for me. Now, can I say this is can I say this is kind of like a rug pull, like we looked at with the Palmer token and Volt Inu token and all those other random tokens that we have? I don't think so, because we have such stability in its price. When you look at it, we have such stability in its price that it's just impossible for, not impossible, but it doesn't look like it's that, because we have a healthy buy to sell transaction ratio, people deciding to come in and out of it. So my only thing is that I can't get into it right now because it's not listed as a token on my hard wallet. So I'm reluctant to buy it and keep it on a exchange. So here's where they're kind of going in each part, where they're saying they're going to expand the network, get add to scalability, add to liquidity, all that stuff. So what that first part is really just saying, hey, we got big plans. This is how we're going to do it. Now, if you go for a little further down into the white paper, you do see here there how the Ethereum virtual machine works, right? We all know this and understand it. So when we come down here, we kind of see how Uniswap, as we imagine it, how everything going here, how Uniswap works. Here's how the Radix engine is going to work. It's pretty simplified, right? So what they're trying to do is just make this process simple and more streamlined, which will save on gas fees and save on time. So instead of taking a couple hours to move across the networks, it can only take maybe like Ripple, like 1 second, or like Quant, like where it takes about 10 to 15 seconds. However, this is still kind of a watered down version of what they're bringing. So with that being said, I'm still a little hesitant, but we can take a quick look at it. So here we go. Radix Engine V2 starts with V1 asset oriented approach, and adds computation of smart contract logic written into Radix asset orientation programming language, scripto, as well as messaging between smart contracts and all this other fun stuff, right? So we're looking at trying to just make this as fast as humanly possible while maintaining the ability to have a vast amount of people all doing the same thing at the same time. Boy, I have no idea why my mouth is working, but that's another thing. It's like, good lord, it seemed to start happening right when I'm talking, right? So with that said, we got a lot of components to this. My thing though is that they're guaranteeing high rates of return for their staking. That to me is a big red flag. And I forget where I saw it in here, but that's pretty much what they're doing. But what you're doing is your staking is going to help add liquidity to everything, including developers, as they add network features and everything to what they're looking at. We're still talking about how this is going to work, but I want to kind of scroll down to it, to the main DeFi approach, because we're getting close to it. Okay, so this is where that thing comes in. So developer royalties, and it kind of explains the traditional methods of how those are all funded, and kind of shows you self-initializing networks, self-incentivizing development. Now, and see, now possible with Radix. So what they're saying is more component usage, more developer royalties, more component development, and it's just going to be a good cycle. And they're kind of showing how everything traditionally runs, right? So how setting works for developers, and it's kind of just showing you how you're going to earn your commissions and everything, or your what you're going to earn for using their network for developing and placing things on the network, right? I'm not really. Other than that, it's really not changing much, other than just the way developers get paid and the staking ratios. So now we get down to here to unlimited DeFi app scalability. So we have atomic composability. Oof, that is a word. But they're basically trying, just it's all this is they're trying to say, hey, we can get as many people on in the network as possible. That's basically what this is saying. Now, that can be a good thing because as these systems become more known across the world, more people start using it. The system's got to be able to handle it. The system's got to be able to handle it. With that being said, that is a good thing in theory, but then you got to build the network, test the network, and have it running. From what I read in this, the system has been running for about 5 years. It's just been the coin has been active for about 2. So before we really get into that, let's go back over to their web page, right? They already went over the paper and everything. So if we're going over here, using Nano Ledger X with Radix desktop wallet. Okay, so they have made it compatible for Nano Ledger X. Okay. That's something I do really like to see there. But my thing is I'm getting a good vibe on it. Like I'm not getting the scam rituals and things like that. Or the main scammy things or the pump and dump things of that nature. What I am getting is a good use case for this. Now, if I go down to staking, this is where they're saying 3 million XRD worth is worth around 23 million based on current market prices. And it's going over some of the details of staking, right? So here's what you can, I guess you can expect to earn off of 100 XRD, right? So let's just turn this up to, let's see if we get 100K, right? Oh, it won't let me go up there. Okay. Well, for some reason it's not working. But so I'm guessing you're getting a 9% yield reward, which are basically getting half a token right now. It's kind of that I like high yield rewards, but I mean you're also coming into this as a right at the new parts of it. A team that delivers a track record of excellence in delivering complex components. So you got some key names here, but let's really take a look at the team. Okay, so here we go. So we have Pies Ridyard, Dan Hughes, Sophie Duncan, Russell Harvey, Matthew Hine, Adam Simmons, Stacy Williams, Raul Mayo. Okay, so we got a pretty diverse set of team here, as well as it looks like everybody has experience. So it's like what I'm saying is that you don't see a bunch of like 18, 19-year-olds that are saying that this was going to happen. Now, not to say that you can't have one or two or a handful of 19-year-olds that are going to help this that are savants in this and can help build this. However, what I like is I'm seeing in the top parts of management, you're seeing what look like to be senior people that are capable of doing it. Now, we're not so much worried about the chief of staff and stuff like that, but I mean, chief of staff means they are looking at they're looking for talent. But then you have someone here who is the head of talent acquisition, so just kind of running everything together. But the one thing is here is like when you look, I'm guessing that I guess there's a chief operating officer, chief technology officer. It's like these people look like they've been in the game. So, and you can kind of verify them. So this is what I like. You can verify each one on LinkedIn. You can verify on Twitter and everything. Everybody's got a LinkedIn with the exception of probably these two. They're probably new. They just probably haven't updated their information yet. You get down here, you see a little bit younger people, some more heavy and tender people, because obviously, you know, with new technology, you want like the digital designer, they're probably going to be a younger person. Community liaison, probably also a young person. Systems developer, probably also say like late 20s, early 30s. I expect all these people to be young, like from here to probably about when we get right up to here. Now these people all look like they're seasoned. They know what they're doing. So I mean, we could take a look at. Let's take a look at his right. Pull up his LinkedIn. Right, Matthew Hine. He's got 384 connections, things like that. Let's take a look at his experience. So you see here, yeah, actually been at Radix for 4.5 years, almost as long as they've been around. But he's been an investment committee advisor for 1 year. Okay. Co-founder and CEO of He3 Labs. I don't know what they do, but obviously very technology based. And you look, his history goes back pretty far. So he's getting up to about 20 years in his work career. So we're probably looking at someone who's already seen like done tough things, had overcome obstacles and things like that. So that's what I'm talking about when we say we're looking at making sure we have experienced individuals. So like if you're ever questioning, and this is just a rule of thumb, if you're ever questioning, hey, like this guy, it's a weird picture, go to his LinkedIn. So like you can see here's a different picture, although he looks a little thinner in that picture. But you never know. Sometimes people, you don't want to point out because some people, may be going through some ailments that they don't want to disclose. But that's also a good sign if you're also investing too, just to make sure you're thinking. But see here, 1996, he started his work life, and so that puts him roughly a little older than me, probably about 45, maybe getting closer to 50 range. So as you can see here, like these people have tenure and experience. We'll take a look at her. All you gotta do is just go down to her work history, and you can see here. Man, it's taking forever. So she was there, left, came back. That is kind of something, but she was the head of operations, left, came back, and then kind of started in a different area, right? Seems like I said, she went over, thought the grass was greener on someplace else, wasn't, came back, really wanted to work with the company, right? That's all that stuff. So, but you see here, 2009. So she's got some experience. So that's what we want to look for, is for people that have experience, have the credentials, and are building for success. And so with this one, I would say I have a buy rating. If I could say anything, I have a buy rating of about a B plus on this. You will probably see some good price action on this through the bull run. However, after that, we got to see if it makes it through. But it's got my confidence. It's got my vote. It's got the Sal vote of confidence. However, I'm not a paid shiller of this, and nor am I a financial advisor. I am a stock trader. So I have my Series 7, been licensed and everything. Excuse me. So I know what to look for when it comes to these tokens and what to come for trading. And from what I can see, it's definitely a company. Now, is what they're producing viable and beneficial to the crypto market? Don't know yet. For a lot of things, we don't know. But they have been around for a little bit, about 5 years. They're probably going to be around for another 5 years. If they made it past the 5 year mark, they're probably going to be here for a while. So, with that being said, I would rate this as a B plus on my buy target, but I would not go heavy into it yet, as we can definitely see there is some downturn there. But it is a good token to start dollar cost averaging in that could see some significant gains in the couple years. So with that said, guys, stay safe, like and subscribe. Make sure you do your own research. Never invest more than what you're comfortable losing, and also subscribe to the Patreon. Link is in the description. Definitely check you guys later. Thank you guys, and thank you for all your support. I will be coming back with another video sometime shortly.